It's time to wind down, time to wise up. Discussing life, exploring the word, gaining wisdom with encouraging words. It's time for Tea with Tiff.
Good evening. I'm your hostess, Lexi Collins, and welcome to the special edition of Tea Time with Tiff.
Hey y'all!
Today is a special edition because it is her birthday episode, and we are also celebrating her 1-year anniversary.
Yay! Come on, give it up for tea time! We've been doing this for a whole year, y'all. A whole year. A whole year. I just want to say, I want to thank everybody for rocking with me for a whole year.
You're welcome.
I have been just truly blessed to be on this journey with you. Everyone who logs in on Sunday nights to get this tea time, thank you. Thank you. This has been quite a journey, and I'm excited to be on it. So today's episode is going to be interesting. I got my daughter here who's going to, she's going to be me today. Yes?
I'm going to be you. I got it. We good.
We shall see. But before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this broadcast. This is how we get Tea Time to go viral. This is how we get Tea Time into the homes, phones of everyone around, is when you like, share, and subscribe. So if you have enjoyed Tea Time at all over this last year, please make sure you like it, share it. Tell somebody right now, come celebrate with me. This is how I'm celebrating my birthday. Come celebrate with me tonight. Get your mamas, your cousins, your sister, them, so that you all can come and have tea time with us. I'm excited to share my birthday, celebrate my birthday, and this 1-year anniversary with you.
Yes.
So to celebrate, we're going to, Lexi's going to ask me questions. And, and I'm going to answer them. I told you last week that I was going to answer all of your questions. Whatever it is that you wanted to know, I'm an open book. I'm going to answer it as honestly as I can. And that's it. If there's something that you want to know from me right now, put it in the chat. We're going to ask you questions throughout tonight. Whatever she asks me, whatever question she asks me, you type the answer first. Let's see how that goes.
Yes, we want to see how well you guys know her. So I'm going to ask her a question, and before she gives the answer, we want you to put it in the chat, see how well you know her. Okay. So, let's get started. We know, everyone sort of knows the pastoral side, the businesswoman side, superwoman. We want to know who you are off the screen, basically. We want to know behind the scenes. This is an exclusive, okay?
Whew, okay, exclusive.
Okay, so we're going to jump into the first question. Someone wants to know, would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
What do you think? Am I an introvert or an extrovert? Well, for those of you who do not know, I am a pure introvert. You know that, did you? I am a pure introvert. Ain't I? I can't do that with Lexi. Yes, I am a person, like the definition of introverts is where you get your energy from yourself or being by yourself. Extroverts, you get your energy from being around others. You like to be around others because being around others gives you energy, whereas I come with my own energy and I fuel up when I'm by myself. I really get recharged by myself.
True. This is true.
I do not like crowds. I do not like being around a lot of people all the time. Like, once I'm charged up, I can give you all I got, and then I got to go back to the crib. I'm not about to. I'm a real legit introvert.
But that kind of like coincides with the roles and positions you're in, because you are constantly around crowds and around people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you are an introvert and like to be by yourself, how do you relax and make sure you take time for yourself after being in crowds and being around people 24/7?
I don't really get to that much. I would like to do that more. But the only way I do, so the truth is, I like to veg out. I am a person, if I can, I like to be in my bed, in my pajamas, watching a good movie and eating a snack. And that is what I'm at my happiest when I'm doing that and no one else is there. Like if I can just steal away for those few moments of my life, which don't come very often because my life is filled, as you know, with people. They're always at my house. They're always in my life, at my job, everywhere. I'm always with people all the time. And then when all those people are gone, I still got my husband and kids. So I love them though. I love them all.
Just give it 5 minutes, Lord. 5 minutes.
Somebody was like, well, what is it that you really, really want? I just want to be by myself. Like, if I could just get a day when I'm totally by myself with nothing to do, no work, no counseling, no writing, just by myself doing what I just said. That would be a euphoric moment.
You'll be in complete bliss, huh?
Bliss. With not a soul around, it would be so exciting for me.
I don't want to do this.
So, but you asked me how I recharge. It wasn't the question.
Yeah.
So, because I don't get those moments that I want, I literally just recharge by sleeping as much as I can, which I can't sleep very long anymore because I'm so busy and I'm not old. Girl, did you just say I was old?
I didn't say that.
You just whispered I was old. Anyway, I do sleep, but I also how do I get recharged? I don't know actually.
You like puzzles?
I do. I forgot. I puzzle. I'm a puzzler. I forgot all about that. So, but I haven't been able to put puzzles together. Like Lexi gave me a puzzle for Mother's Day. But, so it was a puzzle of her and Adonijah and Anaya. It took me 10 minutes to put the puzzle together because I'm a legit puzzler. It doesn't take me long. I take 1,000-piece puzzle and I will put it together in a matter of maybe a day or two because I enjoy it a lot. So I do, I like puzzles and that's actually an activity I could do by myself. Usually they leave me alone. I even invite my family to come, hey, do this puzzle with me. And they'd be like, no, nobody wants to do a puzzle with me. So I do end up working on a puzzle alone. So it gives me some alone time. I can't stand any of you. Why they all run when I say, oh, I got another puzzle?
You got it. It's okay. Relax by yourself.
So I puzzle and, but I also like to watch movies and stuff. So that helps me to just kind of chill.
On the fly, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, shoot. What is my favorite movie?
Okay, I know you have a lot of them.
I do.
So I'm going to give you some grace, and I'm going to let you do top 5, too much. Top 3.
Oh, top 3 favorite. Oh, dang, Lex. I have so many that I like, and I can't think of.
Okay,
what?
top 5.
I can't even think of one right now. Like, it's not even that I need top. I can't even think of one at the moment. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think my favorite movies are? What do you think? What do you think?
Somebody gonna put it in here. I know it.
What's my favorite movie, Lexi?
One of them for sure is the 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, heart is a house for. And I learned that it don't take much to break a heart.
A heart is a house for love.
Yes. Okay. So I could listen. Okay. So Coming to America for sure.
Okay.
5 Heartbeats. Yes.
Okay.
Don't judge me. Friday.
Come back.
Come back. I can watch it and still crack up. Let's see. What else is one of my favorites? Well, that's top 3. You need me 2 more?
Give me 2 more. Why not?
Forrest Gump. Little known fact. I'm a big Forrest fan.
Okay.
You didn't know I like Forrest
No.
Gump? You didn't, girl. Listen, I got the whole box set of Forrest Gump. Don't need to tell nobody. So I do. I love Forrest Gump.
Give me one more.
Like a box of chocolates. After Forrest, well, okay. So then it gets into these epic trilogies, which I love. I love epic trilogies. So I would say the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit.
Oh my goodness.
Both of those trilogies rank up there, like because it's 6 of them. I can't, but also I love trilogies. So like, that's a whole nother genre. Like you have to say what's your top movies and what's your top trilogies, and then I'll have to say so. Like I got all these trilogies that I like. I love the Lord of the Rings. I love the Hobbit. I love all the Star Wars. I love all the Hunger Games. Like those trilogies, love them. I love the Bourne Identity, Supremacy, or like the Bourne franchise. Love it. I love Transformers. All like even though it's not a trilogy, by now was a whatever, but I love it. X-Men, all of those. I love all of Marvel. Like
This is true.
all of it. I will watch all of it. I hate horror films, but I love epic trilogies.
Okay.
Yes, those make me happy. You see how excited I get? Those make me happy.
Well, we're glad. That went well.
Well, you asked.
So tell me, while you're, relaxing, what types of foods and stuff? What's your favorite food? What do you think her favorite food is?
Yeah, what do you think my favorite food is? So, while you're chatting and you're putting in your guesses, first of all,
I know.
my favorite food in the whole wide world, I have one thing that I love more than anything, which is why I have a hard time doing all the different types of diets, because I love fried chicken. I'm black.
I know it.
What can I say? I love fried chicken wings. It is my favorite food. Yes. Just say what you want.
Hot or mild sauce? That's an important question that people want
Listen,
to
now
know.
you know good well I don't do nothing hot. I'm a punk. Can I do anything spicy or hot ever? Do not give me anything spicy. Somebody gave me a gift one time. Let me tell you. Somebody gave me a gift one time. And it was like, oh, I have something for you. And I was like, thank you. And it was this big old box. And I was like, wow. And I unwrapped it. You remember that? I remember. And I was like, and I went home and I unwrapped it. And it was a box of hot sauce, of all different types of hot sauces. And I was looking like, they clearly don't know me at all. I don't even eat hot sauce because I can't eat anything hot. But somebody gave me an entire, but it was like, I saw this and I thought of you. No, you didn't.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Because everybody who knows me knows I don't eat anything hot.
She said, wrong Tiffany. Wrong Tiffany.
Wrong one. Try it again. I was sitting there like, who? What? Me? So, it was a nice try, and I appreciated the thought that you wanted to give me something that you clearly just had in your basement, and you said I wanted to give it to me.
She don't even know who gave her that. Like, they could be watching.
So anyway, yes. So yes, I do. I like fried chicken, and then that was for like food. My favorite dessert. I can't really say dessert because there's just a thing that I like, and it is mint chocolate. I love mint chocolate. Fraggles from the good Macy's, like the Fraggles, mint chocolate chip ice cream, mint chocolate candy, mint chocolate flavored anything.
That is so disgusting.
Mind the business that pays you. Mint chocolate.
I feel like people who eat mint chocolate, anything should just like eat toothpaste straight out the tube. Like that is the vibes it gives me.
No, York peppermint patties.
Oh, what?
Yes. Junior mints. Yeah.
Okay, so disregard her favorite foods because she clearly does not have taste buds. So.
Wow. Just wow. So you asked. Those of you who know me know I love mint chocolate and I love fried chicken.
That's disgusting.
Everybody talking about your favorite foods.
My favorite foods are all good.
To you?
Pineapples, mashed potatoes, and chicken.
In that all order. Day. In that order.
Yes. We're not here to talk about me though.
But it's shown up true. You've been the same forever. Pineapples, mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To this day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? We know everybody knows you are a big like 90s fan.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you prefer 90s R&B or hip hop?
Oh, definitely R&B. Definitely.
I'm gonna put you on a hot spot. Favorite 90s R&B artist? Go.
Easy. I can't do one. I have to do two, maybe three.
If she don't say Jodeci,
listen.
Click out.
So first of all, it is Jodeci, Boyz II Men, and New Edition.
Yes.
And not necessarily in that order. It's just it has to be that combo. And I know New Edition is more 80s to 90s, but still.
It counts.
The NE Heartbreak Tour was everything. Everything. The best, I know you probably don't ask this, but let me tell you, the best concert I have ever been to, hands down, was the New Edition Heartbreak Tour, Homecoming Tour, Heartbreak something. Anyway, I was in college. And let me tell you something. It started off with 702. Then it went to Blackstreet. Then it went to Keith Sweat. Then it went to New Edition, and then New Edition had all of them, and they broke off from New Edition. Then Ralph Tresvant did a set, then BBD did a set, and then Bobby Brown did a set, and then Johnny Gill did a set. It was the most epic concert I've ever been to in my life. My freshman year of college.
Like this no more.
They don't. They just don't. Oh my goodness! When I tell you, we was over there losing our minds at the Armory in Washington D.C. Let me tell you, me and my friends was like, I can't believe we're here. And shout out to my friend Tiff, who got us to Tiff Nilla in college. She was Tiff Nilla, I was Tiff Chalk, and Nilla got us these tickets by her aunt. Auntie Dee, Lord rest her soul. Auntie Dee got us these tickets to go to this concert. Best concert ever. Ever. So I love it.
I was sold on Blackstreet to Keith Sweat.
Listen. Listen. When I was like, we go from 702 to Blackstreet to Keith Sweat, and then all the New Edition and every subgroup, man, listen, I almost lost my mind. It was awesome.
Just carry me home.
At this point, I'm like, it just doesn't get better. And it hasn't gotten better. I ain't been to a concert yet that can top that one.
Wow.
It was bomb. It was bomb. And even at the time when, matter of fact, when No Diggity came on, with Blackstreet did this little thing because, Teddy Riley was there, and then they brought in Missy to do her little part. I was like, what is happening? Came in, I was like, it was so star-studded. We were and then we had excellent seats. So yeah, I'm still wilding over that concert that happened when I was a freshman in college, well over 20-something years ago.
I was kicking it.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. It was awesome.
So, would you like to switch gears and
Sure.
kind of
Whatever you want. Sure.
I know you
It's
said
my
you wanted to
birthday.
kind of get into the personal, not very personal, but like getting to know you and
Okay.
maybe share our story a little.
Sure. Yeah, okay, we could do that. Yes. Yes. We have a story. Because some of y'all looking at us crazy. I know already, like, what? I don't.
People look at us crazy all the time when I
All
call
the
her
time.
mom, or she be like, "That's my
All the
daughter."
time.
So
So let me tell you something. From the time this woman over here was born, she was my child. Just make everybody. I wish I had pictures that I could put up here right now,
Yes.
because I.
we have plenty of pictures, baby pictures, with just me and her.
So just from the rip, Lexi is technically my cousin, technically. But when I was in college, her mom gave birth to her. Hi, Nikki. Her mom gave birth to her, but I used to take her. And I would come home from school and say, "Where's my baby?" And her mother would hand her over, like, "Girl, just get out my face," because she's like, "Why you always come taking my baby?" I'm like, "Cause this our baby. It's our baby. When I come home from school, this my custody arrangement."
You just gave birth to
You just gave birth to her. So Lexi was my baby from the time she was born. And then every time I came home from college, I would go pick her up because she was my baby. And then when she was in high school, she was like, "All right, it's time for me to come stay with y'all for a little while." I was like, "Oh, okay." She's just like, "It's time." You didn't let her be with, you didn't let me be with them all this time. It's time for me to come live with y'all for a little while. It's fine.
In my defense, every time they came to Dayton, I would always ask to come back to Chicago with them,
She
and they
did.
never let me. Okay? They never did.
She was like, "Can I go back with you?" I'm like, "Lex, you just can't go back with us." And she was like, "Yes, I can." So finally, when she was 15, when she was 15, she was like, "Okay, for real though. Like, I've been asking for all these years now. Can I come back and live with y'all?" And I was like, "Oh, well, you serious? Like, you serious?" And she was serious. So we had to talk with her mom and grandma, and she came to live with us, and so it became official. She was our daughter, period. So when she came to live with us when she was 15, like, just I'm ready to go. That's it. So Lexi has been so this is not a sudden thing. She's my child from birth. I just didn't birth her. Her mama birthed her. But it's fine, because, we have an arrangement. We share. So that is how we came to be. So, for all intents and purposes, Lexi is my daughter. Tell Nikki, figure out something else at this point.
They take turns. It's it's a
I mean, surrogates is real, right?
it's a custody thing.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And now they can't get rid of me. So. No.
Yeah. So if I matter of fact, I might put it in. I think you're gonna get some photos. You'll get some photos at the end of the show. I think I'm gonna give you some photos at the end of the show, so you can see Lexi.
Moving on. Let's not. So we have been a blended, well-mixed family. I'm the only light-skinned child. And we do have a lot of fun.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I know what my favorite thing for us to do, but what is your favorite thing for us to do as a family?
What is our favorite thing? Well, actually, I think one of the most fun we have is when Larry turns on the music and we all go around the house dancing and singing. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, he turns on the music, and it's always old 80s and 90s music. And we all sit around, like, especially like when Anaya was little, we were teaching her days of the week. We put it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, love. So the whole family was walking around Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, love, Sunday, Monday. So that's how we taught Anaya the days of the week. She did figure it out before then, but once we once we turned on the songs and we all walked around singing it. But I think that's like when we have the most fun. We all sing and dance around the living room together. It is actually a lot of fun.
Yes, yes.
What's your favorite time?
My favorite times or things for us to do as a family is like, well, especially in high school, we used to do it a lot. Well, when I was in high school, we used to go like to maybe like Geneva, or
Oh yeah.
when we didn't live in Bartlett, we used to come out here, go to Geneva and hang out and just like walk around. And especially in the summer times, there was a lot of festivals and go out to eat and just walk around and hang out at like the parks and stuff. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
That is, especially when we go to St. Charles, we go to the parks over there. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. I love going out with my family. They're so much fun. All of my children. And especially when Lacey used to work in Geneva.
Oh, yeah, at the Patton House.
Yes, shout out to Nancy.
Yes.
So,
and good food.
Listen, when Lacey used to work in Geneva, we would go over there to her job, like, girl, give us some food.
Bringing home gumbo and popo.
Yes, she did. It was great. It was great. So, yeah, those are fun times. Those fun times. I enjoy hanging out with my family and doing life with them whenever we can. We're all pretty respectful of each other's time, though, and so we try to give each other space, and then we also try to make sure that we come together as much as we can. So, which is why Lexi is here, visiting us from Florida. She spread her wings, decided she was gonna be grown and leave us.
I'm 23.
I get
it had to happen sometime.
it. Did.
She would like to keep me here forever, but things happen.
Hey. So, but anyway, so that's why I'm happy you're here.
Me too.
We can do it again.
Okay, so we all know that family time is important, but it is also important for you to have you time. We've talked about that. But what about friendship? Like, it is important to, hang out with your girls and just to get away from your family and get away from your job. Like, what is friendship to you?
Okay, so this is the people who I consider friends. My friends are mainly those who, like, I'm trying to make sure I say this in a way that's not bad, because no matter what I say, people are like, oh my gosh, why would you say that? I have to be honest, which I said I was going to be.
Yes.
So my friends are those who I don't consider needy. That's pretty much like because I'm a servant, and I'm constantly serving people, always trying to do what I can to help. And if you are someone in my life where I'm constantly having to help you or service you, you're not necessarily my friend. You're someone who I help, and I love you. It's not like there's a love loss, but my friends, those who I consider like my really good friends, are those who I'm not constantly, where my role isn't the role of where I have to help counsel. Even though those things are part of it, sometimes, but our relationship is not built on me serving them or helping them. The relationship is more reciprocal, where I can actually talk to them about different things, and they can give me counsel, and I can provide that for them, and we can actually just be and not have to and not have a lot of dependency and that kind of thing, where because many people depend on me and depend on what I do for them. And it's not a bad thing. And I'm not saying this at all like it's bad or like I don't like it, but just the defining line between those who I see as my friends are those who I have a reciprocal relationship with.
So basically, respecting each other's boundaries in a friendship.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. It's important.
Listen.
It's critical.
If I see you somebody who don't respect my boundaries, yeah, you're not my friend.
So how do you, I know it can be not hard, but like kind of a touchy thing, especially in a friendship if you've been friends with somebody for a long time. How do you make sure that you set boundaries and people make sure that they are respectful of your boundaries, like in a friendship?
Oh, so I just tell them. I mean, it's true. I don't mince words. I speak the truth in love. It's what I try to do all the time. It is a way that I live, and it's also a way that I take care of myself. And it's something I would even encourage you to do. You know, you who are listening, you have to be vocal about the boundaries that you need in your life. Yes. Because if you are not vocal about it, 9 times out of 10, no one else will either. And so one of the things that I do is just tell them, okay, thank you. I appreciate you, but I can't do that for you right now. Or you're calling me too often about this thing that I've already helped you with. So, and I'll just tell you flat out, stop. This is, and it's not because I'm being mean, but I need to be honest. No, I'm not going to do that. No, you cannot do that. No, I am not available for that. Things that I can be available for, I absolutely 100% try to, and will avail myself to that. But if I cannot, and if I find that you're abusing my service, yes, and my help, I will openly tell you to stop.
But you have to, and it's not about, I don't think it's about being mean, because like you said, people will abuse it, mm-hmm, and people will try to walk all over you. They will. Like if you don't set them boundaries down, they're just gonna run right past. So that's a good word. As Uncle Lo said, that'll preach.
That'll preach. Listen, and I'm learning, because I had a time and period in my life where I didn't really set boundaries for people, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I will. And it did nothing but harm me, because I didn't tell people, hey, listen, I am only one person, and I can't do all of these things. Or, hey, you're really trying to take advantage of me because you know that I'm nice. You know that I'm going to say yes. You know that I want to help. I get joy out of helping and serving. And you are like, oh, let me get her to do this. She said yes to this. I'm going to get her to say yes to that. And then that, and then that, and then that. And then it becomes this whole big old thing and then the other parts of that is that this is one of those relationships where it's not reciprocal. I can't count on you for jack. Ever. You don't do nothing. And I'm like, this is a very lopsided relationship. So what about
you find yourself overcommitting?
Oh, you know that's the truth. I overcommit to everything. Everybody knows that about me, because I'm trying to do all of these things for all these people. I overcommit to many, many, many things. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. Yes, girl. Listen, I'm gonna help you. I got you. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that.
No, she cannot.
My
Let
husband
me
is
answer
over there
for
falling
her.
on the floor.
No.
Because I'm like, yes, I'll be there, and not realizing that I just said I'll be there to different people to be at 3 different places at the same time. I'm sorry, I need an assistant.
She's so nice, and I am not so nice. I will tell you for her, she can't. She has 50 things to do tomorrow. No.
Yeah,
okay.
so I do overcommit because I'm trying to. When I see a need, I always want to meet it. When I see a need, I want to try to figure out how I can do what I can to be helpful to people. But that always, I always tend to overcommit because I want to be helpful. Yeah.
Sometimes, though, that can be a good quality or a good trait to have, especially in the line of work or the field of work in which you do, aside from the pastoral, but everyone knows that you practice law too, so I mean, sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be a bad thing. So it goes both ways, I would think.
Yeah, it does. I try a little bit. I try. I'm trying, people. I'm trying.
So speaking of law, we had a question. Someone wanted to know what led you to your career path.
Okay, so this was something I don't honestly remember exactly the moment when I thought I wanted to be an attorney. I don't remember. I just remember being young, so first of all, my maiden name was Law, and it was just it just seemed to me that I'm a law. Like, I should be in law. Like, it just seemed to me like that's what I should be doing. And so growing up as a law, in our family, we had a lot of pride in our name. My Uncle Griffin, shout out to Uncle Griffin. My Uncle Griffin always be like, "You are LA freaking W. Don't forget it." So we had to always make sure that we all said, "We are LA freaking W." So that was a thing. That was a part of me. And I remember just thinking that I would be good at it. I remember at some point I just thought I would be good at this. I could be a lawyer. And I went to college, and I was at Howard University, and I took a legal writing course as an undergraduate. And after taking that course, I decided law was not for me. I hated it. It was so much work.
I mean, just keep it real.
Listen, I did. I was literally there, and I said, I got to change my whole life because there's no way I can do this. And it was an English class, but it was a legal writing course. And our professor, our teacher, she was an adjunct. She was an attorney, and she had us writing legal memos. We did research. We did all kinds of, stuff that I would do in practice. I did it as an undergraduate. I'm like, I'm not even in law school, and you got us doing this. And I was like, if it's all about all this writing, you can have it. So it was at that moment, my freshman year, that I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer anymore, because I took that class and I realized that wasn't for me. But
I never knew that.
You didn't know that? Sure enough, took that legal writing course and I was done. And then once I transferred to Vanderbilt, I was in Nashville, and I was walking down the street, and I could hear the Lord telling me, no, you need to go to law school. The Lord was like, no, and I was like, really? So I was walking down the street. I was walking down one of the streets near campus, and there was a big billboard, and it said, God allows U-turns. You can turn around and you can do it again. You can change the direction of your life. And so it was then, and I was like, oh, I guess I should go to law school. And so it was after that I just decided that, okay, I guess I should. I guess I can get over myself. But at that point, though, I wasn't thinking I was going to at all. But I saw that billboard, and it kind of stuck with me. And then when I found out I was pregnant with Adonijah, and the Lord reminded me of the billboard, because I hadn't applied for law school. I was graduated from college and all of that. And he reminded me of the billboard. And then he told me, he said, listen, you have to create a legacy for your kids. And so it was while I was pregnant that I made the decision to actually apply to law school, which means I had to take the LSAT. So I was 5 months pregnant, and I went to take the LSAT, and it was so funny because I sat in the room for the LSAT, and I was so hungry. I was going through a thing. I don't know. I literally, and it was during this time that Larry, he's a different man now than what he was then. He was mean to me then. He wasn't legit mean, but he used to Tiffany, you always talking about you hungry. He used to make me carry around a sack lunch everywhere I went so that he wouldn't have to buy me food for my cravings. So he made me, so I had my little sack lunch during the test. And I left out the exam and ate my sack lunch and went back and finished the LSAT. I got a good score too.
I didn't even know they let you leave midway.
Yes, it is. I was like, I'm pregnant and I'm hungry. And it was like, okay. And I left out the room, ate my food, and then went back in there and finished the exam.
I have never heard that either.
With my sack lunch that Larry used to make me carry around. We would go to the mall. You got your lunch. I'm like, oh.
Now, see, you didn't like it, but ain't you glad you had that lunch?
No, I wanted to buy the food from the mall.
Oh, my goodness.
I wanted the mall food.
In the middle of the test, you was hungry.
Oh, the test, yes. I was happy I had my sack lunch at the test. But, hey, like, listen. I used to hate when he used to make me do that. Every time he would leave when I was pregnant at Adonijah, he'd be like, pack your lunch. We was really poor back then. Like, we were, not poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. And he used to be like, pack your lunch. We're not buying no food when we go out.
Don't ask me for nothing.
He did, like, don't ask me for nothing. I'm like, man, I need a job. That's why I'm going to law school. I need a job. I'm sick of being broke.
What is wrong with you?
Okay.
Sack lunch was good for you, okay? It was good.
Whatever. So anyway, yes, that's how I ended up. I took the LSAT, and then I applied to several schools. Every school I applied to, I got in. And I got in with money to every school. And I chose the school that gave me the most money. I got a full ride to law school plus a stipend. Yeah, so I was paid to go to law school. Quite literally. Hello. So I was like, oh, I guess this is what you want me to do, Lord. Okay. Great. So I started law school. I started law school when Adonijah was 4 months old is when we started law school. And, and I finished and started practicing.
So when you were in law school or just finishing law school and getting into your law career, did you know that you would be a pastor?
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances whatsoever did I ever want to be a pastor. Just to make sure everybody's clear, that was not my plan. Drake says God's plan. And this is, all this is God's plan. It's not my plan, it's God's plan.
Clearly, she is passionate about this.
Listen, you should know, this is the real, right? I don't want to lie about because even how this whole thing came together. When I first met my husband, I saw on him that he clearly was going to be somebody's pastor or something. And I was like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I serve Jesus. I serve the Lord. I want to serve him with my whole heart. But I'm not going to be somebody's pastor. I'm not going to be somebody. Actually, at the time, I was like, I'm not about to be somebody's first lady. Is what I'm not going to be. Still am not somebody's first lady. Not doing that. I just didn't want that life. I didn't want all that came with it. I'm like, I saw it as just a whole bunch of work, a whole bunch of responsibility that I didn't want. I'm like, why can't we serve? I'm like, why can't we be itinerant? Why can't we serve the Lord and go and preach at different places and release the word, teach people, and go home? But now the church comes home with me. It's just not what I wanted for my life, but I'm here now. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Here we are.
I love it.
That's the real question.
I love all of the people. All of them God has given us. It's so great.
Now, she blinked twice. Y'all let me know. Let me know.
But no, this is definitely not my dream or my vision. But because it's what the Lord wanted for me, I gladly accepted it after I gladly accepted after several years of saying no. And then I was like, okay.
I was about to say, let's backtrack. Let us not tell people that you gladly no.
Right, Larry was like,
it real.
He said, that we're going to have to pastor. And I was like, no, we don't. And he was like, this is what you know that this is what the Lord wants us to do. I'm like,
the Lord ain't tell me that.
The Lord did not tell me that. He was like, I'm telling you, that's what the Lord is saying we got to do. And it took me a long time to finally come into agreement with him that this is what we needed to do. I don't remember the triggering event or conversation that caused me to change my mind. Actually, I think we went to IGAP. I think we went to the International Gathering of Apostles and Prophets, and we were there, and they started prophesying to us, and I was like, we're going to have to be the Lord want us to actually start a daggone church.
And she said gladly. Here it is.
I mourned it for a while. I did. I mourned my freedom for a long time. I ain't lying. I was like, okay. So, but once I said yes, I was happy. But it did take a while for me to get to yes. It did. I ain't gonna lie. It took me a while to get to yes.
Do you think it was a hard transition for you once you finally were like, okay, come on, let's go ahead and do this?
No, it actually was fairly easy. That transition was actually fairly easy.
Good.
It was not once I said yes, it really became easy. We jumped right in and everything began to fall into place. It was not a hard transition at all. I didn't have any moments where I was like, oh, this is a mistake. I've never thought this was a mistake. I never thought this was a mistake. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that this is what we're supposed to be doing. What we're doing right now is what we have been purposed and called by God to do. So yeah, I'm very confident with that.
Okay. So I know you mentioned that at first you were like against it because you were like, oh, it's too much stress. I don't want to do it. Now that you have stepped into it and have been pastoring for how long? 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8, 10
in next March.
See what I know. Now that you have been pastoring and stepping into it for 10 years now, what do you think has kept you grounded and giving you energy to stay focused throughout the journey?
Well, quite honestly, I can be described as an overachiever. I really like pleasing God, like legit. I really do. It brings me joy when I know I'm doing what he wants me to do. And the thing that keeps me focused and keeps me energized to keep doing this is when I see the lives of people changed because of what we're doing. When I see people go from being clueless to being to having a real ready command of the word and having a ready command of their lives. When I see their lives changed as a result of the work that we do, there's nothing like it. I mean, I live for that. Like those moments and those times when I see the light bulb turn on over, in the minds of people, when I see them make a decision to go from their own thing to the God thing, like that right there is so life-giving. It never gets old. It never gets old. And it's how I continue. It's how I continue to do it. If I find myself in a season where I see people are stagnant, no one's growing, no one's changing, then I know it's time to hang it up. Okay, it's time to retire. Like I already know. Like when I begin to see the people around me not growing, not doing anything new or more, or see them not being elevated in any way, then I know that I'm not really. My season is up.
Okay. So other people progressing forward and deciding to change is what motivates you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what would you say motivated you to come up with Tea Time? How did you come up with this?
So the interesting thing about my life is that I don't really have any other way to say this, but many people always call me for counsel all the time. Many people in many areas. I mean, many areas. Sometimes people think I know stuff I don't know. I'm like, why do you think I know anything about astronomy. I failed that in college. I don't understand why you think, but they'll call me. So what do you think about the star? I don't know. Anyway, so because people ask me about a lot of things, I found that I do have a level of wisdom that the Lord has given me, and I talk to people, and I'm able to give profoundly wise counsel a lot of the time. And tea time was the Lord's idea. He said, listen, it's time for you to begin to give this wisdom out on a broader scale. And so he came to me with the idea of just having a type of show where I can release this wisdom and kind of give nuggets, do some Bible study, some, interviews, whatever it is, just to release this wisdom into the world. It was one of those things where I was definitely balking at and I didn't want to be on camera. I don't like being on camera. I hate it. I still do. But this was one of the moments where I decided to be obedient earlier instead of
morning.
Right. Instead of waiting several years to say yes and then mourning my freedom again. Because, I'm introverted. You're learning a lot about me. I'm like, Lord, this is one more time where I don't have anything to myself. I have to share everything with the world. So anyway, I didn't go through that process. The only thing I had to do was just say, okay, Lord, I will release it and trust that this is going to be helpful to somebody. So I started, the concept of tea time came about as I began to just write down the vision for what I wanted this platform to look like. And then, and I was like, okay, I want to do it at night where, at a time where people can kind of actually pay attention and wind down. I'm like, at night people like to drink tea at night as a way to kind of wind down. And that's what this is. That's why our tagline, slogan, or whatever you call it is, it's time to wind down and wise up. So I want to, it airs on Sunday night. Because I want to prepare you for the week or give you something to think about, something to kind of help you along your week. And tea time just actually is kind of a cool name to kind of go with my name. So it really just came as I was writing out the vision for having a platform where I release wisdom to women.
Nice. Write the vision and make it plain.
Make it plain.
Yes. We love it. We love to see it.
Thank you, girl.
So if there was, I don't want to say that. I think I want to say, what is something you want people to gain from tea time?
So obviously the first thing is I want people to gain wisdom. The Bible says, get wisdom, get understanding, forsake it not. You have to get it. And this is an opportunity to get wisdom. I want people also to use tea time as a way to be a part of a community. So many of us have been, because this also came about during the pandemic. I started tea time in the early stages of the pandemic because the Lord was like, people are disconnected. And so he said, this is the time because he gave me the vision for this a long time ago, but I was like, okay, I don't know when I'm going to do this. And he told me to launch it then in May of last year because he said, listen, people are disconnected and they need a way to be able to come together again and actually do something where they feel like they're a part of something bigger than them. And so one of the things I want you to get from tea time is a sense of community, which is why the chat is so cool. Because it gives you opportunity to just kind of chat and talk to people like, hey, girl, what did you just say? Did she just do that for real? I love making you laugh and think about things and come up with new stuff. But this tea time is a time really where you should come away from the show thinking that you learned something new, but you had a good time with friends, even if you're not in the same room. You know what? I had a good time with my friends today on tea time. We actually cracked up in that chat, but we also learned a lot about the goodness of God, or we learned about sisterhood. We learned about, whatever the subject matter is, we learned something. So we took time to wind down, wise up, and have community. And that's really one of the biggest takeaways, the point of tea time. is to create a community of people who want to wise up together in a non-threatening way. We can come together and do that.
Hey, the chat do be lit though. I just want to throw that out there.
The chat do be lit. If this is your first time to the chat, welcome. Come back next time we have tea time when we're talking about something, really, really profoundly wise, and then really get in that chat. It's going to be good too.
I mean, it's always good. But
it's always good.
Come back still. Come back, Greg. So
come back.
Is there anything, I know it's the 1 year anniversary and that's exciting. It's also your birthday. Is there anything exciting that you have coming up?
So I do actually. I have some cool things happening. I have several cool things happening. So, and I'm excited to announce these things. I don't typically like to do this, but I think this is important. So a couple of years ago, the Lord told me to create, we were at a women's retreat. And so for those of you who've never been to the KC women's retreat, you need to come, because they are off the chain.
Period.
I mean, when I tell you, it is some of the best times of friendship, community, deliverance, and spa time, because we have, I need that. So we all have it. So anyway, at one of our retreats a couple of years ago, the Lord said that people began to testify about things happening in their lives and how God helped them through. And he told me to create an anthology. So we did volume 1 then. And so this year, he told me it was going to be more than 1. So this year I am releasing volumes 2 and 3. Not 1, but 2 books. Not 1, but 2. So anyway, volumes 2 and 3. Volume 2 will be out very soon. We're actually getting that published this weekend. Yay! So you will be able to purchase volume 2 in a couple of weeks. And volume 3 will be ready by the beginning of July. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm also, one of my other big things is mark your calendars for September 16th. This is something very big, very new. This is breaking news. So yeah, you can bring that to me. Breaking news. We are going to have a women's summit on September 16th, and this is going to be a summit for. I don't have a name for it yet, but it will be about elevating women so that you can do what God has called you to do. My goal is to impart into you something that will help you to fulfill God's call on your life. And that is going to be September 16th. You want to be available for that. There will be another book released that day, because that book is going to be amazing. So you want to be prepared for that. But this is volume 1 of We Don't Look Like What We've Been Through. This is our anthology here. I'm very, very proud of the work. I, along with women from the Kingdom Advancement Center, wrote this book where we all put in our stories of how God brought us through many things. Volume 2 and 3 are from women, not just in the KC, but women that I know in the country. So I'm excited that I've gotten women from all walks of life. Even Alexis is in volume 2. Come on, Alexis. So her story is in volume 2. I have women from all walks of life who are in various stages of their lives and on every mountain, women who are conquering the world. They are in volumes 2 and 3. And volume 2 it's called Praise in the Pandemic. Declarations of healing, hope, and breakthrough. So these are stories of women who have overcome many obstacles during the pandemic, who God has elevated, has given them promotions despite the climate. These are testimonies of how God brought about healing, hope, and breakthrough during the pandemic. Volume 3 is about God's generals, leaders on the mountains of the world, and how these women are conquering the world for Christ, whether it's in education, business, in religion, meaning in churches, and also in families. These women are doing extraordinary things. literally changing the world. So volume 2 is about how they don't look like what they've been through, how God was able to elevate them to positions of leadership despite what they've been through. So you want to get volumes 2 and 3. So those are, what I'm doing right now. And then, of course, the book that's coming out in September, that is going to be fire.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. So put September 16th on your calendar so that you can have that. That's what's happening right now. Oh, and we have a conference coming up June 3rd through the 6th. Register. It is going to be amazing. The first day of the conference is a women's gathering. It's a prophetic women's gathering. I'm bringing my friends. We are going to prophesy to every woman. The whole point is to prophesy. As you can see, I want to help impart into some women everywhere, to be able to do what God has called you to do. There are books in you. There are conferences in you. There are businesses in you. There are families in you. There are children in you. And sometimes we just need someone to help bring those things out. And that is what I want to do. So on Thursday, June 3rd, we're going to have our prophetic women's gathering where we are going to hear from the Lord. We're going to prophesy. We're going to have, a word of encouragement. We're going to have women who are here with their testimonies of how God has done great things. It is going to be an extraordinary time. And then the rest of the conference is going to be even more amazing. So you want to register for the conference, just go to our website, thekingdomac.com, and it'll give you information about this conference. You don't want to miss it. You can join us here at the KAC, or you can join virtually. So there's no reason why you have to miss it. You can register today for that. So that's another thing. And then I'm also working on children's ministry curriculum. So if you have a church and you need children's ministry curriculum, I have the best children's ministry curriculum for kingdom living, understanding who kids are in the kingdom of God and all of the gifts that he bestows on them. This is what this curriculum is about. And this curriculum will be available by the end of the year. It takes a lot to put curriculum together. But so anyway, so that's another thing that I'm working on.
Nice.
My plate is full. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Is it time?
Yes.
Well, it was so much fun. Everybody, I think we all learned something new about Miss Tiffany here. I definitely did. I heard a couple new stories I've never heard before.
Yes, I'm full of great things.
You want to close out?
Yes, I will. So I want to just say thank you all again for celebrating with me, celebrating a year's worth of drinking tea, winding down, wising up. It has been an extraordinary journey thus far. My prayer is that this continues. We are in season 2, episode 10. So this year, this is our 10th episode this year. Come on, give it up. I am excited, and I hope that this continues. I really do. I hope that pray for me is what I'm going to ask you to do. Pray for that I get re-energized and built up and all of that I need to be able to continue. As you can hear, I have a lot on my plate, and I really could use the prayers of the saints to help keep me going. I want to thank my husband who, he's here in the building, but he won't get on camera. But I love him so much because he is always helping me. And I want to say this live because for everybody that I need Larry Henderson. Now, I'm saying this because he was like, you don't say you need me. I say I want him, which I think is better. But I also want him to know that I do actually need him. And it's okay that you need people in your life. And he's the one person in my life that I truly, truly need. I would not be able to do this tea time. He makes sure I have everything I need. Before we go, if you gonna get somebody, make sure they support you.
Hello, a word.
If they are not supportive of your dreams, your visions, your ideas, you don't need them. Period.
And that's on what?
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's on Mary Had a Whole Little Lamb.
It's the support for me.
It's the support. There is no one in my life more supportive than Larry Henderson Jr. And I just want to make sure that he knows how much I love him. I love you. I appreciate what he does and how all of his support for Tea Time has been amazing. For not just Tea Time, but for everything. He supports every venture, and I have lots of them. I have lots of ideas all the time. I drive him nuts with all of the ideas that I have, and I jump up every day. I'm like a squirrel. Like, oh, I'm going to do another book. I'm going to do another show. I want to have another women's fellowship. I'm going to do a conference. I'm going to do a retreat. I want 2 retreats. Like, I drive him nuts. And as you see, I do them all. And I do them all with his help. He supports every single one. When his wife says, this is what I want to do, he tells me no at first, and then he just does it. I know the drill. He says, no, we're not going to do all of that. And then we do it because this is how we do.
You just got to get the first ask
Just got to get right. Just got to get out. I have to listen to him say no and all the reasons why he doesn't want to do it. And then he tells me. So let me just say I love Larry and all of my children. Thank you to Alexis, Adonijah, and Anaya for sharing me with the world. Thank you. And thank you, Lexi, for coming here and visiting me for my birthday.
You're welcome, girl.
Lexi came all the way up here to make sure she celebrated with me. I'm so grateful. So anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. It has been an extraordinary time of celebration, 1-year anniversary for Tea Time, and it's my birthday. If you want to give me a gift, my Cash App is on the thing. I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead.
Drop them coins.
Drop them. It's all right. So it's that $ TL Henderson, just saying. Okay. But anyway.
She put it out there for real.
I did. Go ahead. I'm gonna put it on the thing too. Thank you for celebrating my birthday with me. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Have a good evening. Take the time tonight to wind down and wise up with Tea Time with Tiff.
Tea time, tea with Tiff. Tea time, we're gonna talk about it. Tea time, take a sip. It's time to wind down, time to wise up. Discussing life, exploring the word, gaining wisdom with encouraging words. It's time for Tea with Tiff.